That'd be good. Hey, Sean Casey, and oh, look.
Those contracts were light. What was the money back then, Steve?
That was real money.
That's the range back then.
That's amazing.
Inflation. I mean, inflation.
That's true.
That's a little, yeah. Inflation on another level.
Wow, it's amazing. Again, I try to give them credit on this show a lot. We talk about the teams like the Rays and the A's and the Brewers and the Guardians who make a lot out of a little. So want to give full credit, right? It takes a lot, Steve. As you know, you're in a big market. You're a GM in a big market. Keep the foot on the accelerator. We have money. We're spending money. They both do.
Yeah, the other thing that was interesting back then, the Blue Jays farm system kept developing talent. They did an excellent job. Pat Gillick, Hall of Fame executive, but they kept developing talent, which allowed them to have prospects to make trades to get guys like Ricky Henderson, just like the Dodgers continue to have that farm system where they are spending money. They are trading for superstar veteran players. And look, Pat Gillick took some chances on some old guys then. Jack Morris back then, Ricky Henderson. I mean, although Ricky played for me in 2001 and was an older guy then, but he brought in older players, but he kept that feeder system going as well. And that's the way you do it. You blend the veteran talent with the younger, inexperienced players.
And again, I'm not big on, get the veteran who has done it in the playoffs, so what? But Dave Stewart and Paul Molitor? No.
Jack Morris?
They were those guys, and they were those guys that year. Take a look at the lineup for a second, Cliff, here, because this is what I mean. They already had Alomar. I put in the on-base and the slugging, because look at John Olerud for a second. He hit 363. He had a 473 on base. This wasn't the middle of the steroid era. He'd slugged 599. Alomar, Ricky, who didn't have great numbers that year for him, but then Joe Carter, good power. Paul Molitor hit 332. So this was a super team back then.
It was a super team, and you added the right guys without disrupting the chemistry. I think that's what it boils down to. You have a good chemistry in there. You can bring in certain dudes. You've seen teams go out and bring in guys, and it's like, that's not the right fix. So and it's not throwing good money at a bad situation. You thought he was going to come in. You thought these guys were going to come in and help you. It didn't work. When you look at when Anthopoulos was there in Toronto, he was taking chances. And then it changed, right? And Ross Atkins has went a different route. And he's like, well, we're going to put these guys together and find these type of dudes that fix what we're kind of doing as a team and what we want to do as we move forward. We might not think that slug is everything. You have your few sluggers and you have guys that are supporting cast players. But I think when you look back at that team, it was about adding the right veteran dudes that still had a lot in the tank. But you had to believe that. You had to believe.
You didn't know. Paul Molitor had been hurt a lot in his career and stuff, and he comes through with 160 games played, totally crushes it. I think he was second in the MVP voting that year. It's a monster team.
I looked at that and thought, wait a minute. I had Olerud, Alomar, and Ricky Henderson. I was just a little bit behind the times a little bit. I thought Pat Gillick got the older guys, and it worked for him. Let me get those guys when a little bit older. Didn't work quite as well for me.
Here are the two clubs in a snapshot. Take a look at the Dodgers were overall 16th in ERA. But that is not the rotation we're going to see in this World Series. They're drastically different. So runs per game, Dodgers are second, Blue Jays are fourth. It's kind of like payroll, right? Number 1, number 5, number 2, number 4. Weighted runs created plus is hitting, second and fourth. Base running, they're both kind of middle of the pack, 18th and 25th. They have the guys that can run. A lot of guys can't. Starting pitcher ERA, Dodgers actually 5th. The Blue Jays, surprisingly enough, 20th. Bullpen ERA, not good for the Dodgers. Defensive runs saved. Again, Mookie Betts has outrageous defensive metrics. We'll talk about him if we believe those metrics. They're third, they're fourth. The main thing that stands out for me, Steve, is Yamamoto pitched 173 innings, all right? Glasnow, Snell, and Ohtani, 90, 61, and 47. So I use the phrase tanned and rested. They are rested, and this is their season right now.
Yeah, there's no question about it. And honestly, it was the plan. I mean, they knew they were signing guys who were injury prone. They had guys that they were going to protect. They had pitchers like Ohtani coming back from Tommy John and Yamamoto who they wanted to have on a 6-man rotation. So because they're bringing the pitchers in from Japan who tend to pitch in once a week, they build a rotation of depth and protect them. And the whole plan for the Dodgers, get to the playoffs and then make sure that when we get there, we've got our studs all healthy, ready to go. And, oh, by the way, rested when we need them to play their best. They're rested in a midseason form where you look at the Blue Jays, many of their guys are expecting we need the best performance when you're most fatigued at the end of the season. The Dodgers are in a different space.
The Blue Jays are like most teams, right? A little gassed, a little hurt, might have to go Gausman on 3 days rest, whereas the Dodgers are just sitting pretty in every way.
They are, but if you're the Jays, you can't fall into that being spooked by what you've seen from them in that series against the Brewers. I haven't seen anybody strike out 0-0 in a count. Like, you have to go out with a different mindset to attack 0-0 and have these guys feeling like, these guys are ambushing us. They're doing some different things. You're a different offense when you look at the Brewers. I thought the Brewers were. I watched them the whole series against the Cubs and the DS, and I was like, man, this team, I don't know how you beat them because they're pesky. They're going to give you quality at bats. They're going to get to the bullpen. They're going to do all these things. Total opposite.
Yeah, they didn't.
Right?
Yeah,
they never let them off the hook. But I think this is one thing. If you're the Jays, you don't have that hitters meeting thinking, hey, look at these guys. They're the best in the business since August 2nd and all this crap. No, you look at it and go, hey.
That is true. But, yeah, they can't buy it. Right.
Right. You can't buy into that. I mean, yes, it's true for us to talk about it. But if I'm the offense, I'm like, hey, man, these guys can be beat.
Cliff, I'm with you. I think, we have a real recency bias. We just saw the Dodgers wipe out the Brewers, and you feel like, oh, no, now they're going to steamroll that. I think this is an even-up series. Blue Jays are for real. They're a heavyweight.
I mean, the best matchup here is the Dodgers starting pitching against the hitters for the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays offense right now, they scored 71 runs in 11 games. They're averaging 6.5 runs per game. So what they were during the season is a snapshot of a big picture. But who they are right now, they're playing some of their best offensive baseball right now. That's the team that's facing the Dodgers, not the one who had 160, the stats, which were good, but this is the best that they've been performing. Their superstar players getting it done, and the length and depth and balance of this lineup is absolutely phenomenal right now. So the Dodgers are, listen, they're going to attack these hitters, but this lineup is as tough a matchup as you could find. They foul off pitches, they battle, they scratch, they claw, they grind out at bats, they don't strike out, they put it in play. They make productive outs.
Number one in contact.
Right, top contact team. And interestingly, they're 14th highest during the regular season at swinging at the first pitch, but in the postseason, they're swinging at the most first pitches. They're jumping at Blake Snell, 53% fastballs on the first pitch. And so look for the Blue Jays hitters to look for that fastball and jump on it.
I think they're fluid in their attack. I want to, again, just to widen out, as long as we're, this is the day off, we're getting ready. Again, game one is Friday. The Blue Jays have been good for a number of years. Mark Shapiro went over to be president of baseball operations for the Blue Jays, came over from the Guardians after long-term success there. And that's gone down from John Hart to Dan O'Dowd to Mark Shapiro, goes to the Blue Jays. And I'm saying, Cliff, I know their one bad year was last year. Now, that was disappointing. But before that, 89 wins, 92 wins, 91 wins. That's success. It's just barely missed the postseason, and they were losing in the playoffs, which, again, there's a bit of a crapshoot to that, but they've been good for a number of years.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me was last year we were starting to close the window and say, wait, what's going on? Like, what's happening?
Yeah,
right. And so you turn it around and you figure out some things. I think the most important thing, to your point, Steve, is you've given these guys, if you want to call them supporting cast players, experience. They've gotten a chance to play. They've gotten a chance to come together. You of course you want Bo Bichette. Of course you want. I'm drawing a blank on the right fielder that's hurt.
Springer?
Santander.
Oh,
so
he's gone.
you missed, right? He's gone, and you forget about him. That's 40 and 100 that you had to replace. That was something that you expected to be in your lineup.
Right.
And you don't have it. So when you look at these guys getting a chance to play, it's
Clement Barger, they're real guys.
That was a good combo that they and that's John Snyder saying, I instill this confidence in you to go do it. And if you do it the way we need you to do it, we'll go far.
By the way, isn't it Dave Stewart, as I look back on the record, two-time ALCS MVP and World Series MVP? You talk about a real guy.